And the next fight we have on this card is Nathan Fletcher versus Caolan Loughran. Kind of a regional fight here. These guys could have easily ended up fighting in Cage Warriors, but they're getting matched in the UFC. And they did fight as amateurs, where Nathan Fletcher came away with a pretty dominant, easy victory. And I put that fight up on my YouTube channel, so you can go and watch it if you haven't seen it. But both those guys at that point were really raw, and Fletcher was just way ahead of him in the wrestling. He took him down and controlled him pretty much for the majority of the fight. Loughran had a couple of moments, but easy win for Fletcher the first time these guys fought. And since then, Nathan Fletcher, he had a good career in Cage Warriors, but he wasn't able to get the belt. He left Cage Warriors, fought on Ultimate Fighter, ended up losing to Caolan Loughran on the show. He was fighting at 145, and I think he had a torn ACL, or he had some issue where it even hindered his performance even further. And the fight with Loughran, he just was too small. He got out wrestled and controlled and beat up in that one. And then he fought Ziggy Montes from Mosca in the UFC, was able to give a better count of himself. He was able to get a takedown, get the finish, which is what he likes to do. And now he's taking on someone in Caolan Loughran, who was able to get the belt in Cage Warriors, came to the UFC undefeated with some pretty lofty expectations, but dropped a hard fight to Taylor Lapalus, short notice fight in France. And he bounced back with the win over Angel Pacheco, who's nothing special, and then lost another decision to Jake Hadley, which was a bad loss there and really kind of has dropped Loughran's stock. So now Loughran is in a position where he has to prove the hype surrounding him before he got to the UFC was real. And for Nathan Fletcher, he's just looking to cement himself as a UFC level fighter. So it's a pretty big fight for both guys here. And I think that Fletcher is still going to be the better grappler. It's just going to come down to, is Caolan Loughran a good enough wrestler now to where he can pin Nathan Fletcher against the cage and use that physicality to control him there, or negate the takedowns or reverse the takedowns and get on top and kind of ride Nathan Fletcher out, or keep it standing and get the better of it on the feet? Because I do think that Loughran is the better striker. He is one of these guys that's pretty quick and he can close the distance fast. He'll throw decent hand combinations. Even though he's kind of has a short, compact build, he'll throw good shots on the inside. Fletcher, he's going to be trying to use the jab, move around, get Loughran to overextend, and then time that takedown, get under him, and then control him on top like he did the first fight. Try to find the finish. And conditioning-wise, both these guys usually have good cardio. I feel like Loughran is the guy that probably is a little bit better with his pacing and conditioning, but I don't think it's going to be a major issue for either guy. Ultimately, I'm going to go with Fletcher here because I think he intangibly, has the longer reach and just a little more athletic, and I think that he could probably keep the range with the jab and then mix in some takedowns and steal this decision. But it's a close money line for a reason, and it's a fight that, as far as all these fights on the card you can bet on, I don't think it's one that I would personally target, but I'm going to say Fletcher gets the victory.